Marvel fans, we've got some exciting announcements for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. This movie sounds like it is going to be ridiculous.
I see this as an absolute win.
Let's break down the reports. What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerd Avengers Tower as per usual. And what a wild day and couple of days, actually, of Marvel announcements. I want to begin with talking about this very crazy exclusive that the Direct got earlier today, all about Modok coming in as a villain for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Now, there were some reports from earlier in the year that Modok was going to be brought into the MCU. There were talks that it was actually going to be Jim Carrey. It's something we reported on here, and I want to sort of explain what is going on, because they are saying yes to Modok but no to Jim Carrey. So let's talk about what that means. So here at the article, it says, while many are preoccupied with waiting for Spider-Man No Way Home, and oh baby, are we preoccupied with that as well, two other anthropod-themed superheroes are getting a brand new Marvel Cinematic Universe entry soon. Scott Lang and Hope Van Dyne are set to reunite for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, a threequel that is expected to explore more of the weird and wacky avenues of the quantum realm. Several fresh faces will be joining Ant-Man's next installment, in addition to some familiar foes. After rumors hinted at his inclusion, Bill Murray confirmed his appearance in Quantumania, though he indicated that he won't be reprising this role in MCU properties. Kathleen Newton will also join the Marvel Cinematic Universe, replacing Emma Furman as Scott's daughter, Cassie Lang. Off the back of Loki's finale, MCU newcomer Jonathan Majors is set to star as Kang the Conqueror. Darren Cross actor Corey Stoll is also reported to return for Quantumania after 2015's Ant-Man. That's the guy that played the bad guy in the first Ant-Man movie. He's apparently going to be in the film as well. According to the Direct sources, Modok will be introduced in the MCU in a major role in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Modok's rumored presence in the sequel has yet to be confirmed by Marvel Studios, although Jim Carrey was previously rumored to take on the villain role in the MCU. The Direct can confirm that the actor is not playing Modok in the Ant-Man threequel. That's kind of interesting. For those unfamiliar with the character of Modok, the villain started off as the character of Advanced Idea Mechanics, or AIM, employee George Tarleton. George Tarleton. Following the experiment gone wrong, Tarleton was transformed into the mechanized organism designed only for killing, or MODOK for short, a freakish life form that subsequently takes over AIM to enact all of his villainous whims. Due to his overdeveloped and overgrown head, MODOK has a genius-level intellect and is able to use psionic powers. MODOK was reportedly included in a previous script draft for Quantumania written by Paul Rudd himself, so it seems that the villain managed to survive rewrites long enough to make it to the final film. Given that AIM was also a part of this past version of the group's association with the villain, it's likely the organization will also make an appearance alongside MODOK too. With MODOK already starring in his own show on Hulu, separate from the MCU, it will be interesting to see how Marvel Studios differentiates their adaptation from Patton Oswalt's Family Man version. Oswald may have missed out on portraying the villain on the big screen, but at least he's been given another shot at another MCU role. So what could MODOK's role in Quantumania be? Considering that the villain is known for his brains, MODOK will almost certainly be of interest to smart cookie like Jonathan Majors' Kang. MODOK could be an intellectual rival for Majors' villain, with two plans getting in the way of each other. Alternatively, MODOK may act as a useful asset for Kang, with the latter potentially enlisting the Floating Head's help to find a streamlined way to destroy his variants. After all, MODOK was designed only for killing. Okay, so let's stop for a second there, and let me just give you some speculation and some of my thoughts and takeaways on what that is. Then we'll get into the Haley Steinfeld and New Avengers, or rather Young Avengers tease that is likely also going to be happening in Quantumania. Now, no Jim Carrey that is a bummer. There were heavy rumors of that being a thing, and there were even reports that Modok could appear in the She-Hulk show. So, I don't know, maybe they got really close with Carrey, couldn't seal the deal with him, maybe he couldn't do the extended contract sort of situation. Regardless, it looks like, according to the direct, he will not be Modok in the Ant-Man and the Quantumania film, right? So does that mean he's not Modok in general? Are they going to have him be Modok in other properties, but this version of Modok in the Quantumania movie will not be played by Carrey? That is possible. It's also very possible, and I would say more likely, that Jim Carrey will not be Modok in the MCU, that whoever ends up playing Modok in this film will likely be playing Modok for most of the MCU appearances of that character. The other thing that's really interesting in this article is the fact that he's going to have a major role in the movie. Now, this movie's likely to be wild as heck, have a lot of multiversal / quantum realm things going on. We know that Kang the Conqueror is going to be the main villain of the movie, but with another major villain like Modok having a large role in the film, there's only a couple of scenarios for this, and I think, they sort of spell them out there pretty nicely in this article. He's either going to be a rival to Kang, or he will be working with Kang. We really don't know. It's quite early in this whole process to even start to speculate about what the character could be doing, but if we know anything about the Kang variants from what we learn in the Loki series, is that there are some versions of the character that are really brutal, horrible, and that are so scary that they made He Who Remains want to literally curate all of time and space so that these other variants would not exist and not try to take over the multiverse. So that seems like a pretty bad dude in Kang the Conqueror, and we did recently see some art of what Kang the Conqueror is likely to look like due to some shirts that were given to the stunt crew on the set of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Now, it is important to distinguish that it seems like the art that they used on that shirt is not actual licensed Marvel art. They could have taken a picture of Kang from the internet and put that in the reflection of the Ant-Man helmet on that shirt. It is not an official look at what Kang will look like, but it's likely to be pretty close to what Kang will look like. The stunt team is, after all, working on the movie. They would have some idea of what Kang looks like, and it seems like they're pretty excited to put that cracked Scott Lang Ant-Man helmet with the reflection of Kang in it. And of course, the version of Kang we see in the statue at the TVA at the end of Loki does at least have his battle armor on as far as his chest. He's not wearing a helmet, but we can assume it'll look something like we see in the stunt gear t-shirt. And AIM has a lot to do in the comics. They're very involved in a lot of different stories, including help to build the Red Hulk or create the serum that allows the Red Hulk to exist. There's a thing called the Intelligentsia, which is a lot of high-level AIM workers working with other scientists to create all sorts of crazy tech. And so you could see a scenario where they're just making incredibly interesting technology that then Kang wants to apprehend or steal, as he would do.
How bad can I possibly be?
So the main takeaways for me, it's dope we're getting Modok. That's going to be a really fun character and have a lot of other stuff to do in the MCU, I would say, other than just playing sort of second fiddle to Kang the Conqueror in this Quantumania movie. So that is really cool. I do think it's a bummer that we're not getting Jim Carrey. I would love to see him in the role, although I'm sure whoever will be playing the role in the film is going to be awesome. So however they get that to work, it's going to be great. I expect it to be really fun. Now, moving into the second bit here, and this has to do with the Young Avengers. Now, this is coming from a website called Midgard Times, which is relatively new on the scene, but a lot of people that I trust are saying that this is a pretty good rumor. They've heard similar things, and so we will talk about this, okay? It says here, Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop to return in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. After the limited series Hawkeye, Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop is all set to return in MCU Phase 4 movie Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, according to a piece of information we got a hold of. As per our friend, Haley Steinfeld was spotted in the same location where Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania was filming, Pinewood Studios in Buckinghamshire, United Kingdom. It is unlikely to be a casual visit, as I have never heard of an MCU star allowed on the sets without being a part of the film. We don't know if she was there regularly or only for a day, but her presence is enough to confirm that she has a role in this movie, even if it's simply a cameo or a post-credit scene. However, fans may not have to wait long for confirmation on this story because the Hawkeye finale may reveal where Kate Bishop will return. It also makes sense if we were to look at the cast of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, which includes Catherine Newton as Cassie Lang, who will have a regular appearance in the movie. The film is likely to introduce a Young Avengers in Scott Lang's daughter, Cassie Lang, who has a major part to play. Elijah Bradley and Kate Bishop were the first members who have been unofficially introduced as Young Avengers in Falcon and the Winter Soldier and Hawkeye, respectively. Miss Marvel will arrive soon. They have America Chavez showing up, and so it does seem like a lot of these characters, including the Maximoff twins and the children of Scarlet Witch, they're setting up the Young Avengers. We've known this for some time. And for me, I'm excited about it. I think it would be super fun. Quantumania, just like Doctor Strange before it, and I guess the new Spider-Man movie as well, seems like it's going to be almost an Avengers level film. We've been following just little things like how the production is put together with a ton of people that worked on like Star Wars movies and big epic grand scale films. It seems like it's a really expensive movie that's going to be heavily involved with a ton of different characters. So that is really cool. Kate Bishop could just show up, be a part of some group already, or they could do a post-credit scene to sort of tie her to Cassie Lang and set up the idea of those two forming some kind of Young Avengers thing. I mean, look, at this point, we've been hearing Young Avengers for some time. It looks super obvious that they're developing that cast of characters, and they're likely going to do their own projects with the Young Avengers. Now, something else I will add to this is that Haley Steinfeld is a huge get for the MCU. She's a very high caliber actress, and that contract with her was not easy to secure. The reports are there were a lot of sort of mixed feelings about that, a lot of conflict. I guess what I'm trying to say is I think Feige's got big plans to use Haley as one of the big members of the Young Avengers and moving forward into the Avengers. She's really valuable as an asset. A lot of people love her, and they love her portrayal of the Kate Bishop character. So it would be kind of fun if they brought in Kate Bishop to some kind of more official role within Quantumania. But guys, that's the craziness when it comes to the reports for Quantumania. You've got friggin' Bill Murray, which we talked about before. You've got Modok being confirmed, or I guess rumored at this point, to be in the movie and play a big role in the film. Kang the Conqueror is going to be the big villain of the movie, and you've got reports that Steinfeld's Kate Bishop is going to show up in this movie, either in a post-credit scene or perhaps in the movie itself. It sounds absolutely insane to me. What do you think of this? Are you excited about Modok? Are you excited about Young Avengers? How do you feel about this? Let me know in the comment section below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to our channel to see more of our videos pop up in your recommended feed. And go check out the live streaming channel. We do a ton of fun things over on our live streaming channel. Go check it out. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video.